Holy shit, I just watched the last 4 episodes of Selector Infected Wixoss, and I thought it was kind of boring and lame. Honestly, as you probably know if you've been watching my videos on this show, I've had my fair share of issues with the fact that it's just so dramatic all the time. It never turns off. It's always in that 100% melodrama mode, and the last 4 episodes continue that trend. I understand why, because it's getting into like the big dramatic part of the story, but at the same time, throughout these last 4 episodes, nothing's really happening until the end. Like, I really felt with episodes 9 and 10, and then again with episodes 10 and 11, that the amount of information conveyed in those episodes could have been done in one. Like, really the whole show has been like that. This could have been 6 or 7 episodes and hit all the same beats, not even lost any of the atmosphere. There's no reason for the show to be that slow and repetitive and just kind of drag the way it does. I feel like the show continued to keep borrowing from Madoka for story beats where she wants to save all the other magical girls, in this case Elrigs, by becoming one and trapping herself in the system like Madoka did. Of course, the twist is that she's not successful in the end, but what that means is that I guess we're in for another entire 12 episodes of the same shit, where they battle each other and no one's really sure what's going on, and in the end it'll all work out. That's really the problem I have with this show. It just kept stacking on more and more and more, like rules and things and shit, all this convoluted stuff to explain why it wasn't just simple, why she couldn't just win and then it's all over. It's like, no, but it has to be a wish that a normal person could fulfill, but then she's not a normal person necessarily, but then the card and the person have to both agree on the wish, and then you might not understand what kind of wish you're getting into, and the person takes over the body of the other person, and the shit happens, and all the stuff. So altogether, I spent most of it just being like, just sitting there, like, watching this all unfold, and with the reaction of, like, oh, I guess that's a thing now. I guess you can't win that way. I guess you gotta be a not normal, but then you gotta be the thing, whatever. They go into, like, a tournament arc, but it's, like, one battle. Like, why set up a whole tournament if she was just gonna fight Hitoe and Iono? Why not just have her fight him? Why the whole tournament thing? Why? Why is there a tournament? Why does Iono have this setup? I don't think it was, like, established quite that she was super rich. Like, I got that she's an idol and stuff, but she, like, has control over this giant tower and, like, all these giant TV screens that she can broadcast on. Why did she switch screens in the middle of that scene? What was the point of that? Here's another thing I thought was a total cop-out. How come when the characters that we have seen in the real world turn into cards, they have the same hair color that they did originally, but the cards that we'd seen in the show up until then had crazy, wacky anime hair colors, like red and green and white hair. So the implication is that you don't change appearance at all when you go into the card. So were they not human before they were cards? Were they just, like, weird otherworld things? This game can't have existed for that long, right? Wixoss was, like, fairly new at the start of the show. This is one of those where the more I think about it, the more I'm like, where is this coming from? Why is this happening? And the only reasons I can think of is always to make it more complicated, to make it so it's not over yet, you know? From the beginning, the concept was super simple. They have wishes, they win, they get the wishes, you're done. And now it's like a clusterfuck of shit. In the end, I never feel like I know who to root for in any of the matches, because you can't trust any of the rules, you can't trust any of the systems, you don't know who's gonna get what wish. Even if a character gets their wish, they're trapped inside a fucking card and they don't get the real wish. Or you don't know if their wish is gonna come true, or the card's gonna betray them. You don't know who the fuck's gonna win ever, or what they're gonna get, so the stakes are completely non-existent. The battles are fucking boring. I never understood what was happening in them to begin with. They have still been building up, like, backstory elements for Rue, but they never get into them. We're 12 episodes in. Still don't know why she was a weird kid. Maybe we'll learn more in the second season. Personally, I'm probably not going to stick around for it. I'm kind of done. Like, in episode 8, when there was that first big twist, and it was like, oh shit, things aren't what they seem, it was cool, it was presented well in that episode, it made it feel like things were moving. But then right after that, we get like all these twists until we don't know what the plot of the show is anymore. It just is just nonsense. Things happen, and people yell. A lot of yelling. Characters are constantly yelling. Best things I can say about Wixoss, probably my favorite opening song of the whole season. I loved it every time. Pretty good soundtrack. I'd listen to it on its own, probably. There's a hilarious dubstep drop that happens during the final battle, but whatever. I mean, it's such a good-looking show. The design sense is there. The atmosphere is there. It's well-directed. It's just boring. The script is boring. It's too slow, too meandering, too repetitive. Too much shit doesn't make sense. You don't know who to root for. And, you know, it just feels like a fucking huge waste of time. So overall, I'd give it 5 out of 10 for this season. Don't think I'll come back during the fall. Whatever. That's it. Bang.